Oh, my favorite animal, all of them. I jump, from thing to thing. It's dolphins. No, it's koalas. No, it's polar bears. No, wolves. No, wait, meerkats. No, it's pangolins. No, it's platypuses. I can't, I love them all. They're all amazing and wonderful. Can't choose. For personal animal, dog. Hello, I'm Suzi McLaughlin, and I'm the information manager at Stage West. Just sort of by default, really. Jerry decided that all of our bookkeeping stuff needed to be on computer, and nobody was doing anything on computer. We didn't have one, and we inherited one, so it was decided that I needed to understand bookkeeping. So I learned that and entered all the stuff on computer. And then we decided that it would be good to have the mailing list on computer, so that was also me because I was the computer person. And it just kind of grew, and it became, whatever jobs nobody else was doing or had time to do or wanted to do got added into me. And there you have it. My favorite thing about that job, there's a lot of flexibility. Most of the time, I can kind of work as I need to. It's so varied. It's not ever all just one thing. And so that's good. I like working with data and getting it all, together. My least favorite thing about the job, some of it involves getting input from other people, or rather information from other people, like when I'm putting together the program. And sometimes you just can't drag the info out of people, and that makes me a little nuts. It would have to be an animal that wouldn't be deterred by obstacles, would just plow ahead with determination. So my feeling is my job would be a honey badger, and there's that little bit of crankiness associated with that too. My favorite show I've ever seen, that's really hard because I've seen a lot of good theater, both local and New York and even London. I guess maybe I should say something like the first show I saw in New York with, huge production values and all. That was Amadeus, and it was mind-boggling the first time you see something where there's a huge set and major lighting and yeah. And locally, the earliest show that made a huge impression on me was when Theater 3 long ago did Sweeney Todd in that tiny space. You were just right in the middle of it, and it was amazing. Super cast. Something about me people may not know. I think everybody knows I suck at math. I'm going to go with a thing that people always seem to be surprised about, which is that I am absolutely a non-jock. They sort of assume that if you dance, you must be athletic. I have like zero athletic ability. I can't imagine why anybody would seek this out. It's not a real job, It's a sort of compilation of things. But if somebody wanted to do that sort of thing, I would say they should have a working knowledge of, say, Microsoft Office, and they obviously would need to know Patron Manager. That's, what our stuff is all in. And they would have to have a certain amount of patience. Basically just have that interest in the various elements of it and some knowledge to back it up. My favorite show I've been in at Stage West, I have to say the one that everybody would expect me to say, which is Alfred Stieglitz Loves O'Keeffe. That was an incredible opportunity, and to get to do it twice was amazing. Dancing at Lunasa was a super meaningful show, and going way, way back, a show that just was an amazing role. Only a 3-person cast, and the guys in it were wonderful also. Called Starry Night. Oh, my favorite memories. I have a lot of favorite memories at Stage West. Very, very early during the first production, which I stage managed and ran lights and sound for, and it was in the space next door to Stage West, next door to the theater space. Jerry was like hugely into method then, and he would go off. He was playing this crazy homeless person, so he would go off somewhere and, get into the whole mindset of his character, and so I had to go find him to give him his calls. So I'd gone to give him a 2, which meant really for him that was next door to Places. And I'm heading through, and I look back to see if Jerry's coming, and he is, but an actual legit homeless person had decided that he was one of his brothers, and he had a hand on his shoulder and was offering him something out of his bottle and asking if he had a good food source. Jerry had to kind of disconnect himself from the guy and explain that he was doing a show and that he was on his way in and so forth. And it all ended well, but that's one of my favorite memories ever. I never expected, when I was sitting on the floor of that building helping to make lights out of tin cans, I never expected that 40 years later, Stage West would still be thumping along and have come as far as it has. I knew it would do okay. I always thought it was likely to do okay, but I didn't know what that really meant. And to see now where we are, back on our second home, Vickery, and to see the renovations that are happening and the quality of theater that is happening here, and the people who have been with us from the get-go who are still here. It's just amazing. It's an honor to be a part of something that long-lived, I think, and to know that we have a core audience that is there with us. My favorite color is blue. My favorite number is 5. My favorite dessert is anything chocolate. One food for the rest of my life, that's, I think, going to be Chinese food, but I'm not talking about current Chinese food, which has always got garlic in it and usually scallions, and I can't eat that stuff. Old school Chinese food, which is rice and the veggies and some meat and some crispy noodles on top. I think I could probably eat that every day. I think it's pretty much the perfect food. My astrological sign, that's a big duh, I am a Virgo, all the way nonstop. Look it up in the dictionary.
100%.
To our patrons, I would just like to say, we all love you. I miss you very much. Kind of every day that passes, I'm aware of that more and more. Those of you that I see on Facebook, I'm like, I can send virtual hugs to, but boy, I miss talking to you on the rare occasions when I get to see you. So I hope we're all back together soon and you stay well. That's it. Okay. Bye. Stay safe and masked.